Wow, Friday was so busy. I thought it was going to be busy going into it, but I didn't think it was going to be like that. Let me go ahead and tell you about this. So, by the way, welcome to Just Name 19. One more till we get to 20. 20! Wow! Next week is 20. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry I didn't put out a... Today really should be 20. Last week was supposed to be 19, but last week, again, with work, I had this deadline with a video project for work, and Sunday was really the only day I had to work on it, so I didn't have a chance to really do a Just Name video. So apologies for that, but you know, moving on, those things happen. You know. So did I just say, you know? Is that number one? Anyway, Friday was so busy because first of all, I'm having a substitute for Stephanie, who normally teaches, she's my boss, she normally teaches the women's total conditioning class in the morning at 9 a.m. So I have to sub for her while she's out on maternity leave. So I have to do that class in the morning, okay? And then I'd squeeze my workout in after, so I was gonna work out right after at 10. That gave me like 90 minutes to work out before my next thing. But they were doing pictures in Parisi for some kind of, it's like the Biggest Loser competition, and they were wrapping up and they needed a place to take pictures for the afters, and they were using part of the Parisi track to do that. So I wound up getting into a talk with Bach. You know, Bach's the camera guy, and you know, me and him kind of, you know, hit it off. He helped me make that video y'all saw that I put out, Just Name 18. He helped me, he gave me the lens and he did some camera work for me. But you know, we got to talking about lenses and cameras for like an hour, so I was like, okay, wait a minute, okay, Bach, I really would love to stay and chat, but I gotta go work out, otherwise it's just not gonna happen today. So I'll go rush, change into my clothes, run to the other side of the gym to work out, run into my cousin and her friend, who I'm training, but they were just there today working out. They stopped me for like 15 minutes, and I'm like talking to them, and I'm like, yeah, well, it's great. I really need to go work out. So I'm like down to like 45 minutes to work out before my next thing I gotta do. So I'm like rushing crazy to get that done. Rush back over to the other side to Parisi, change my clothes real quick, and then I'm supposed to have a conference call at 12. So I get on the conference call with corporate, Parisi corporate, with Ginger. She's the lady that I talked to from the headquarters. And I really don't look forward to those conversations a lot of times. But get on the phone with her, have a talk with her, then she tells me that I need to submit the numbers and all this stuff, and it's like gonna take me extra time. I'm like, I guess I can do it today, Ginger. Then Kerry comes in, KJ, and I was supposed to meet with him too, and we're talking, and Kerry's awesome, I'll tell you about him later. But he's a Canadian football player, professional football player, and a quarterback. He's awesome, awesome guy. But anyway, we're talking, and then at 1 o'clock I have to teach the Little Speedsters class, which normally I don't, but I had to on Friday because the day before Eric tells me, Nate, I'm going house hunting, and I need to take Friday off. Can you take my Little Speedsters class? I'm like, granted, there's no one else to do it. I guess I will. So that's like another hour. Another hour that I have to use, that I need. And I'll get to it in a second why I need these hours. But I do the Little Speedsters class. The kids come in, they wreck the place. You know, so I'm done with that. I wrap that up like at 2. You know, I order some food from the cafe, have them working on that as I'm cleaning up the place. Run, punch in some numbers, send that to corporate. Finish editing one of my videos real quick, make some quick changes for the tennis department that they sent me. And then it's about 2:30. I think it's about 2:30. So I had from 2:30 to 5 o'clock. Now here's the thing. The reason why I needed time before sunset is because I'm supposed to be making a video for the Biggest Loser finale competition. And I had already, that's what I was working on last Sunday, getting it prepped. But the last piece, the last part was the winners. and they were taking the pictures that day, and they had to send it to me so that way I can put it in the video and have the video ready for them that night. Okay? These videos don't get put together that easily, that quickly. You know, it takes me a long time to put something like that together, and they wanted it like that day. Okay? So I still don't have the pictures yet. I don't have the after pictures yet. So I gotta go rush home, edit the video. I got Amy on the phone. She's the one that's doing the lighting up thing. I got her on the phone. I'm like, dude, Amy, man, I need those pictures now. I need them now. Get me those pictures. So she finally sends them like at 4 o'clock. I have 1 hour until sunset. I get the pictures in there. I process the video, then I try to upload it, and I'm like, oh man, the upload's gonna take forever. It's 4:30, I got a half hour. Let me download this to a USB drive. Let me rush over to the gym, drop it off and rush back, which I did, and I wound up doing it with 2 minutes left. I got back here home with 2 minutes left before sunset. And that was my Friday. What a crazy, crazy day. Let me tell you. Okay, so that was my Friday. And now I'll go ahead and talk about whatever I want to talk about. I'm dressed like this because I'm about to go out and run before the football game. And when I run, I like to wear this thing on my shoulder. You know, I can put my iPhone in here and I can just hook up my headphones and listen to some music while I run, which is really nice. I used to have it in my pocket, and when you run or sprinting and you have it in your pocket's going all up and down, and it falls out, and just you can't do it. So that armband right there is pretty good. I like that thing, and it gets it out of the way. But anyway, I was thinking, I kind of want to talk about this. A few months ago, call it maybe 6 months ago, I got a friend request on Facebook from this girl that I grew up with. Her name was, or is, Vanessa. And I got a request from her, which is so weird because, like, I really haven't talked to her or stayed in contact with her for, man, I think the last time I talked to her, I was 18. No, I take that back. It was at her grandfather's funeral, which was in 2004. So it's been almost 10 years since I've seen or talked to her. But anyway, I want to share this story. Because, you know, just Nate, I can ramble about things and talk about things, but I do kind of want to share some of my past as well. I'll tell a good story. So I'll start with the story. So, a little bit of back history. We were born about a month apart. We were raised together pretty much. Her parents would babysit us. My mom would babysit us too. We grew up in the same congregation, Worldwide Church of God. Our families were really close. She was close to my grandparents. Whenever we'd have get-togethers, she would always, be there. I was best friends with her brother. My mom and her mom were best friends. Both her dads got along real well. It's perfect. And I think it's natural that I guess I developed a crush on her when I was about 13 or, no, I would say 14 years old. 13 or 14. I got a big crush on her. I never told her. I never told her brother too, because You know, he's my friend, and I just wanted to kind of respect him for that. Silly. But I would always get like these butterflies when I was around her, and super nervous, and I couldn't think straight, and she's like all I could think about, and finally, I held it in for so long, and I think I was about 15 years old. I finally told my parents that I had a crush on her, and they thought it was cute. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. She was in the church. We were, the families were friends, and they knew her, and they knew us. So yeah, it was cool. But then we were all in United, and her parents wound up leaving United and going to PCG. So we never really, talked much after that. But I still had a crush on her. So that was about 15, 16 years old. And I prayed to God about it a lot, and it just seemed so perfect. It seemed too perfect. Like, man, this is, you can't get any more perfect than that. A perfect setup. But what appears on the outside isn't always what it really is. So her mom would usually come over to our house, and she'd talk to my mom a lot, and apparently Vanessa wasn't, I guess, as interested in the church, or interested at all in the church. So she wound up leaving and moving out of the house. I think she was 17 when she moved out of the house. I remember too. Right before all this went down, I remember I had a conversation with her. It was like the first time ever on AOL, AIM, and it was a nice conversation. I think at the time I was getting my driver's license, so I was excited, and I was talking to her about that, and it was probably a short 20, 30-minute conversation on there, and that was really kind of like the last time I talked to her. And then she moved out of the house, and then I would just hear stories. Like, I think the next time I heard a story was from it was at my cousin's wedding, and I was talking to Derek, my friend, and he was talking about how she was working at, I think it was Chick-fil-A, something like that. But then she wound up falling in love with this, I think he was like a Mexican guy or something, who didn't have a job and lived with his mom in a trailer. So she winds up marrying him, moves into the trailer with his mom, and they're married for like a year, and then he dies. Young guy, he just dies. I don't know what it was, heart problems or something, but she winds up, instead of moving back home with her parents, she stays with the guy's mom in the trailer. The next time I'd see her would be at her grandfather's funeral. It's the first time I've seen her since she was 17 or 18 years old. And I remember being at the funeral, and I knew I was going to see her, but I wasn't expecting to see what I saw. I walked past her in the hallway at the funeral parlor, and her hair, she was natural blonde. Her hair was dyed jet black. She had tattoos, and she smelled like cigarette smoke. And it was like, this is not the person that that I grew up with, this isn't the person that I liked, that I had feelings for. So I just said, hey, and sorry for your loss, and left it at that. I didn't really talk to her. But it's like, that's really not the end of the story. Then a few years later, her brother messages me and he's like, well, she did it. She went out and did it. She got pregnant by a black guy. So, she has 2 kids now, and she lives with this guy. I think he's a garbage man, trash collector. She hangs out with real low-class people. You can just tell it. And it's just even the way she talks, she doesn't talk like an educated person. It's like she's been hanging out with uneducated people. And it just, I think she has a lot of problems with her mom. It's just it's so sad to me. But at the same time, what appeared to be like the perfect situation for me, God, I guess, saw into the future. He saw what direction she was heading in, and that it would be best if I didn't get stuck with that. So in hindsight, I'm glad that it didn't work out. I'm very thankful it didn't work out. But at the time, it hurt a lot. Now, I'm completely over her now. I really don't care, whatever. There's nothing there anymore at all. But back then, it was, it was hard. To see the person that you have a crush on, that you're infatuated with, just completely make every single wrong decision there is. And these are not just little wrong decisions, these are permanent, life-changing decisions, one after the other, and you sit there and you can't do a thing about it. That is one of the hardest things being a human with emotions can go through. And I wouldn't wish that. I think in a way it's harder for the person that loves the person going through the hard school of hard knocks and making all these bad decisions than it is for the person that's actually making all the bad decisions. But that's my story with that. There's other details that go with it, but man, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy, to go through that. Well, if I would have been stupid and pursued it when I was that young, when I was 15, when I was 18 years old, I would be probably one of the most miserable people right now if I got stuck with her. I don't know where I would be, and frankly, I don't even want to think where I'd be. Because more than likely what had happened is she would have taken me down versus me helping her out. But that's my my dramatic story for the day. My dramatic life story for the day. So I don't want to end on that. I don't want to end this Just Nate episode on something that sad. I want to end it on a good note, a positive note. And that is, well, if there's anything you can take from that story, is that rely on God and He will work things out for you. Don't try to take matters into your own hands, because if you do that, you don't know what's in other people's hearts. You don't know the direction that they're going to go in. Only God knows that. And, you know, thankfully I did let God take care of that, and I'm not in a bad place now. But that aside, I do want to talk about my hair. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I am going to invite two of my other selves in here with different hairstyles. I'm going to have regular curly hair. I'm going to have straightened hair with the flat iron, and then I'm going to have gel hair. And we'll just see what it looks like. And we're going to have some fun, and I'll end the video on that. So, here we go. Okay, so here are my two hairstyles. Well, three. I got regular, natural, wavy, curly hair guy. To my right, I have my gel hair man. And to my left, I've got straight and flat iron hair guy. So what do you think? Which guy do you think has the best hair? Let me know. And maybe, I mean, I hope you guys like me, but I mean, these guys are cool too, so whatever. This is less work for me. That takes a little bit of effort. So, I'm gonna stand here and stare at the camera. Yeah, right guys?